Hello, I decided to do my organizational design structure and change presentation on Rolex. A quick company overview on Rolex. Rolex was founded in Geneva, Switzerland in 1905. It currently has around 9,000 employees, and according to Forbes, those same employees ranked number 14 for the world's best employees, and that goes for all companies, not just watches and things of that nature. According to Reuters 2021, Rolex is a very profitable company, but due to their business process, there are sometimes a shortage of watches to sell to the consumer. Over the years, Rolex has made a lot of groundbreaking changes and innovations within the watch and jewelry community. So the most admired 8 dimensions that Fortune ranked companies starts off at innovativeness. It goes to quality management, long-term investment value, social responsibility, people management, quality of products and services, financial soundness, and the wise use of corporate assets. The most important to me personally would be the social responsibility, which is the obligations that companies must act that serves the society. The society includes your consumers and everybody that you sell your product to, and without putting an emphasis on that, you won't be a successful company. Also, people management is another very key one for me, is because that is the ability to motivate and direct employees in a way that makes them excel and feel comfortable. Like I said, the employees are the backbone of your company. If you don't have good employees and employees that want to work for your company, they won't be able to give a consumer what they want and need, which is, it's all a domino effect. So I feel like that is very important in order to have as a company. The underperformance dimensions that I used is the main issue is a lack of product and resource. The product has decreased in availability for consumers over the previous years, according to Reuters 2021, and due to the resources and quality process. The key point number 1 is this ties in utilizing corporate assets, which is one of the 8 dimensions. There's a multitude of resources they can use across the world, but to maintain their brand identity, they only create and manufacture their products in Switzerland, which is not a bad thing, but in order to satisfy the needs of their consumers and the demand they have for their product, they should try to expand. The next key point is it is a very innovative company regarding what they have manufacturers, but like I said, finding ways to create more watches is the innovative process. And if they can create more watches frequently and get to the paying customer, then the needs will be obtained and consumers will be happy. The ramifications and consequences. The loss of consumers could be a major ramification that this company could face, and that's not a good thing, of course. The loss of revenue due to the loss of customers is the main point that all companies want to gain. Of course, they want to have consumer support and do good in the community and society, but without revenue, a lot of these companies can't last, especially a watch company, which needs consumers to continuously buy their product. Competition may be increasing their profits, which further puts you in a deficit. If other consumers, let's say, for example, they can't get a Rolex because of the lack of resources, as I stated, then they would get another watch. They might get a Hublot, they might get a G-Shock, they might get an Audemars Piguet, they might get all these different types of watches just because they don't have access to a Rolex. So competition is everywhere, competition is in every business and industry, so that could be another consequence. And deterioration of employees who may see the effects of lower profits. If they see lower profits, then in turn they might have to lay off some employees, or decrease their pay, which is not what you want to do. You always want to keep your employees happy, and by keeping your employees happy, you have to keep the consumer happy, buy more products, and so on and so forth. The organizational structure, design, and culture. The current organizational structure, internally, Rolex has leaders that make decisions and innovative tactics. They have over 4,000 watchmakers around the world, but sell their manufacturers only out of Switzerland, according to Forbes. As I stated, they're a very enclosed company. They don't have a lot of employees over the world, even though they're a worldwide company. But in order to, make the consumer happy and potentially earn more profits, they should probably look to expand potentially. And that ties right into the struggling dimension, which is utilizing corporate assets and innovating. Like I said, they only manufacture their products in the country they're created in, which is Switzerland, but they are very popular all over the world. So if they were to expand their ground and expand their roots, they could potentially earn more profits and continue the quality that they already have and the organizational culture. Like I said, they have a high ranking within employees and consumers who are able to get a watch, and the employees that are able to work for them. So, like I said, they have a great organizational culture. A lot of the employees have great reviews and enjoy working there. But in order to get a little bit better for the consumer, they should try to innovate these changes. Conscious capitalism. According to Adams 2014, the major benefit that Rolex gives to its consumers isn't the watch itself, but the ability for consumers to view it as a celebratory gesture that is seen as success. For example, a person who, these watches are very expensive. They can be upwards of $100,000, $1 million, $250,000, outrageous prices. So in order for a person, they might buy a Rolex and feel as though they're very successful in their field or whatever they're doing in life. So that's the benefit that it gives. And, benefiting the outside world and society, that's an effect of conscious capitalism. Sometimes in reverse, economically, they can be seen as not conscious capitalists due to, as I said, the high prices, and the rarity of their product. So that can also be a negative when it comes to conscious capitalism. But overall, they're seen as a conscious capitalist company due to the high employee retention, the good reviews they get from employees, and the customer satisfaction. The 8-step process for leading this change and innovation. First, they start off with create a sense of urgency by allowing management to see the dissatisfaction. Next is building coalition by employing more than the 9,000 employees they have. Next is to form the vision of more than the 4 manufacturing companies they have in Switzerland, potentially moving to surrounding, countries or building more manufacturer plants so they can make more watches. Unifying the consumers and employees and management in order to come together for the common goal, creating more product. Remove the obstacle of only manufacture watches in Switzerland and utilize other parts of the world. Generate short-term wins by increasing the amount of watches, which can, in turn, you see more profit in the short term. Try to accelerate while also keeping up the quality and rarity of the watches you sell. So, going at a faster pace in this, as far as manufacturing these watches, but not going too fast where the quality dips. And lastly, institute these changes permanently so that the consumer's happy, you get more profit, the employees are happy, you're employing more individuals, and you're also growing around the world. The potential challenges is changing organizational norms. That's always a problem when it's, you're innovating and changing different things. A company like Rolex has been in business since 1905 and been doing the same thing and manufacturing the same product in the same places for, over 100 years now. So changing organizational norms could be a potential issue. Losing the rarity factor. As I stated, these watches are very expensive and they're very rare, which is why that their current employees and leadership, they believe, they're not doing the shortage on purpose, but they believe it's a good thing because they keep their watches rare. So it could potentially lose its rarity factor if you manufacture more watches. So that could be a challenge. And competition, of course, I already stated, competition is always a challenge when it comes to any industry. So you always have to watch out for your competitors and people who make the same product that you do. The lessons I learned is trying to find a balance while within being great quality in close companies while also trying to serve the best interests of the customers. As I stated, Rolex is a very enclosed company, but they also have a lot of great quality things. So trying to find the balance between those while also serving the best interests of the consumer is something that I always learn. The culture set by Rolex is the reason why they're so high quality brand. It's the reason they hold competitive advantages. So always, building a strong culture within your organization is key when, building an organization. And lastly, conscious capitalism will always work for the company if you put the needs of your employees and wants of your consumer first. As I stated, without your employees, you won't be able to create your products, and without the consumer, you won't have employees because nobody's buying the product that they're building. So that's also a key thing that I always take with me, and I'm always in leadership positions. Any questions, comments, concerns? And these are my references. Thank you very much. Hope you enjoyed the presentation.